All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Alright, testing again. I think we're probably fine. Hey, Christopher! All right, everybody, welcome to yet another stream. Am I a little predictable by this point? We played through X4, X5, and now X6. I'd like to say that I was not planning on doing this. Just as of a few weeks ago, I had never even come close to beating this game. And now this is going to be my 4th run. And so I'm actually kind of looking forward to playing this. I have actually warmed up to this game quite a bit. In the past, I've always, like, just railed on it. But I think it's a pretty fun game once you learn how to play it and can get past some of its major design flaws, which I'm sure we'll talk about as we go through the game. So, hey, Titanic Lance! Thanks for the tips the other day, man, on Twitch. I really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll use some of them on this stream. So, welcome, everyone. We got Lurch, BV, Zython, Christopher Margot, Leo, Miku, Titanic Lance. Yeah, Chris, I got X3 for Saturn, but I also ordered it for Super Famicom as well. Unfortunately, it hadn't come in the mail yet, but I'll post another picture once that comes. And I've never beaten X3 before, so that's going to be in, like, on my, you know, on my next, like, thing to do, basically. So, also, guys, a couple of you guys out there watching, or that are probably watching the archive, I got some private messages from you guys in regards to my health issues, and I appreciate you guys reaching out. I'm sorry I haven't responded. I turned off my YouTube notifications, so I don't get email notifications anymore. So I had no idea you guys sent me private messages. So I'll try to respond to those in a few days. So if you're watching and I haven't responded to you, it's not intentional. I apologize. I like to respond to all my messages that I get. So you guys will hear from me. So yeah, and I appreciate you guys looking out for me as well, and your concerns. So yeah, I'm doing okay, Carlos. We had a scare earlier this week. I'm not going to go into it right now, but you know, so I just got to keep watching out for myself, and I have been. I ate a nice salad with some chicken on it for dinner, with the apple on the side, and just some you know, some green tea, natural green tea, not you know, the sugary stuff. So hey, Andy, welcome back, man, and Carlos. Alright, so before we kick things off here, let me go ahead and flash by the recent Patreon backers. We actually got a new backer, Shining Philistine, who's been hanging out in the stream for the last few weeks, backed. So thank you, Shining Philistine, much appreciated. And then we also got Casey Billings, I think the previous week, pledged as well. You guys, your names won't be on the next 2 Let's Plays, at least the 2 that are published on YouTube, just because they're already done and uploaded. But your names will be on the future Let's Plays after that. So thank you guys for your support. Yeah, just remember that as little as $1 a month gets you my videos early and ad-free. And if I come up with some other types of exclusive content, you guys will be the first to get it. Alright, so we're going to flash by those super chatters as well. Thank you guys for your weekly support. It's much appreciated. We did get a couple messages last week. We got from Shining Philistine that said, "Wah! Good job on beating X5, by the way." I think that was in relation to, I don't know if it was Zero's death sound or it was someone's death sound. It was kind of like a meme last week. It was pretty funny. And then Tauna Harris says, "Great times, enjoy this." So thank you, Tauna Harris and Shining Philistine. And, so yeah, Mega Man X6 is kind of like, I guess you could say, the black sheep of the first 6 Mega Man X games. I enjoy it now. I've put a lot of time into it. I put a lot of work into it. My first run in particular was really rough because they give you the option to play as Unarmored X. Don't ever play as Unarmored X in this game unless you're a pro or an expert, because the game is not designed around it. The game is entirely designed around your Falcon Armor, your Blade Armor, and your Shadow Armor. And your Falcon Armor is what you start with. Falcon Armor can do air dashes and things like that. Stock X can't do air dashes. And in order to get upgraded armor with X, it's not like it is in the old Mega Man X games or pre-X5 games. It's, you have to find 4 specific capsules, then you can use your upgrades. It's really a pain. So I didn't really look too highly upon this game on my first playthrough. But my second playthrough, it just all clicked. I played as the Falcon Armor. The game went a lot smoother. I was familiar where things were. And I started to really enjoy it. And then I did a third playthrough. And then I did... actually, the third playthrough was on extreme mode as well. I cranked the difficulty up. And I finished that this morning when I got home from work. And so yeah, I like the game now. I think it's a lot of fun, but it is probably the most difficult Mega Man X game that I've played so far. Granted, I haven't finished X3, so I don't know what the difficulty's like on that, but I do know that of all the other ones I played, aside from X3, this definitely, you know, takes the cake. So, hey, thanks, Andy. Much appreciated. And Miku. And Titanic Lance. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay, but yeah, I think we'll be good. Alright, so let's go ahead and just start a brand new game. So you can actually go to the options menu, and this game does have an easy mode. So if you're playing this for the first time, I probably recommend playing it on easy. And then there's normal, which is what we're going to be playing it on, and then extreme. I could actually play it on extreme right now, but I don't really feel it's necessary. It makes certain other aspects of the game kind of annoying. Like, there are these enemies that shoot missiles out at you. On normal mode, you can destroy the missiles. On extreme, you can't destroy the missiles. So it just kind of like slows... It's not like dodging the missiles is hard or anything. It just slows down the gameplay, because then you got to jump over them, and it just takes longer to kill the enemies because you're dodging things you wouldn't normally be dodging. You can also strangely change the game speed to slow. I haven't tried that. I'm a little scared to try it, but it is something that you can do. So X6 follows up right where X5 left off. We're going to skip through all the story and stuff like that. The story is even lazier in this game, though, than it was in X5. It's just a portrait, and it's pretty basic stuff. There's not even really any music in the background, usually. But, yeah, I don't play the Mega Man games for story, although I will admit I do like the story in X4, and I do like the story in X1 as well. But they're all fairly, you know, unintrusive. And unlike X5, X6's story is fairly unintrusive as well. You don't have as many like text pop-up messages and things like that you did in X5. Now, they're still there, except in this game, many of them are optional. So that first one was not optional, but on, most of the rest of the stages in the game, they will be optional. A little exclamation box will pop up on the, like right here. You see there's an exclamation box? I can hit select, and then, basically command will tell me, what's going on, tutorial-wise. So you've also got the Z Saber, which is, Zero Saber you get from the end of X5. And these bars from X5 are here as well. So I actually like how the Z Saber is a thing in this game with X. It was a little weird at first when I first played the game, but you get kind of used to it. And it definitely is a powerful weapon when used right. Hey, Town of Hearts, welcome back, man. So this isn't going to be like a perfect playthrough by any means. I'm going to be tanking a lot of hits and so forth just to get through parts faster. We are going to be playing through a lot of the same stages repeatedly in this game. Every stage has to be played at least twice if you want to get everything in it. So on certain stages, we're just going to be intentionally taking damage just to get through them as fast as possible. Alright, so this is our first boss. Yeah, the nice thing about this, people that missed out on it back in the day, the game's still not super expensive. Like, I probably overpaid. I think I paid like $30 for it at a local game store. But you can get it on the Mega Man X collection for PS2. And you can get brand new sealed copies of that game for like 15 or 20 bucks. So if you really want to play X6, you can check it out on the PlayStation 2. Mega Man X collection. Now, there's also an X collection on GameCube, but that sucker is expensive now. It's like a $70 or $80 game. It's not worth it. Unless you're just desperate to play it on the GameCube. Of course, with that controller, I'm not sure why you would want to. The PlayStation controller is a little better suited for the Mega Man X games. Since they roughly got the same layout as the Super Nintendo controller, which is where the X series originated. There are other ways to play X6 other than taking damage. Well, if you take it slow. I found that in X6, if you take things slow, it is so much easier to kill enemies and not take hits. But one of the things about X6 is that it's a longer experience than X5. Like, X5 we finished, I think, in about 2 hours-ish. X6 is probably going to take us like 3.5 hours at the very least to get through. Alright, so this is High Max. You have to fight him a couple times in the game, but this is kind of like the first fight in the original Mega Man X, where you just intentionally take damage, and then that's it. It's basically a scripted fight. And this guy is actually really annoying. There's a couple of really annoying bosses in this game. High Max is one of them. Oh, you were playing this with an SNES Classic controller? On the GameCube collection. When did you buy the GameCube collection, Leo? Did you get it before, like, it went up in price? I'm trying to think, which one do I want to do? I don't... It doesn't tell me which one of these is extreme mode. I guess it doesn't really matter, because I've already beaten the game. So this is my first save file. It took us 6 hours. The second one took us 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours, and then the third one took us a little over 2 hours. But in game, it actually tells you like it took like 3-something hours. I don't know why it's listing it as 2 hours. It's weird, but it definitely told me on the endings that it was 3.5-ish hours. We'll go ahead and just save over my first one. You know, if the PlayStation 2 collection still outputs 240p, or is it forced it to 480i? I want to say it is 480i, but you might be able to force it in the 240p. I would check the... there's a list on Wikipedia that talks about all the games that can be forced into... Oh, wait, no. Oh, forcing it into 240p. Actually... Oh, man, I have no idea. I was thinking 480p, not 240p, my bad. Alright, so we're going to start off with this Amazon area first. But if you hit the L1 button, or the R1 button, you can figure out the Reploids that you rescued. Kind of like an X5, there's Reploids you can rescue, and they will give you parts and things like that. Very important feature in X6. And we're going to eventually have most of this filled up with lots of different upgrades, so like faster running speed, you know, higher jumps, better dashing, better attack power, things like that. And yeah, very important part. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Amazon area. We're going to do the Falcon. Do not play as X if you play this for the first time. Don't make the mistake I did. I actually want to do another run with just X now that I'm really familiar with the game, but that's not right now. We're going to save that for Twitch. Hey, Larry G. I'm good, man. Thank you. You believe PS2 version does 240p just like the GameCube collection. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to bust out the PS2 collection. It's actually right behind me. I had it out the other night just to look at it. But I'll definitely have to try it again just to see for myself. I'll be able to tell just by loading it up if it's 240p. I want to say it probably is 240p because I remember playing X3 on it. And I remember it looking just like the PlayStation version. Like, it didn't have... you know, the 480i, like, you know, jiggliness. Alright, so this is our first capsule. This is the easiest capsule to find in the game. Well, actually, it's one of the easiest capsules to find. And just like an X5, you gotta find 4 capsules of a specific type in order to actually be able to activate that armor. Alright, so these squid guys here, or these, you know, tentacle-looking things, those are called nightmares, and they are a reoccurring enemy in this game. Okay, let's just skip that guy. We're gonna actually hop on that dude, jump up here. Every time you successfully, you know, rescue a Reploid, you'll get an extra life. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to... This isn't gonna work. Oh, no, not gonna work. But you want to try to rescue all the Reploids that you can, because, you know, a handful of them in each level will give you parts. Basically the things that will enhance your performance. You also want to make sure you grab what these nightmares leave behind. The nightmares, objects that are left behind will affect your rank. And the faster you get your rank up, the faster you can open up extra item slots. And you also want to make sure the nightmares don't touch the Reploids, because if they do, those Reploids are dead permanently. And there's our first heart tank. And the Reploids are also really nice too, because they give you a little bit of health back. Health drops in this game are very, very stingy. So if you're trying to do this with, you know, as few lives lost as possible, then you definitely want to try to get as many Reploids as you can. Alright, so we're going to try to come up top here. And that's that. Mega Man Anniversary is 480i. Interesting. So we've got the Giga attack with the Falcon Armor, which is a really fantastic attack. And what we're going to be doing is actually using the Falcon Armor for most of the game. I think it's actually the best armor, personally. I have the easiest time with it. Your dashing is pretty manageable. You do get this armor called the Blade Armor later on. It's basically a replacement for the Falcon Armor. But your dashing is much faster, which can lead you to get out of control easier. Your charge shot doesn't feel like it's as powerful on the Blade Armor. And the Giga attack for the Falcon Armor is a lot better than the Giga attack for the Blade Armor. So, you know, you can get upgraded armor, but it doesn't feel like it's upgraded. I just use the Falcon Armor for about 90% of the playthrough. We're going to switch to the Blade Armor for the last 2 stages in the game, but we've got a long way to go for that. So this basically tells you all the things you get and whatnot. Usually I just skip all this, and then I just go to the part selection screen after each level to see what I got. But I have a general idea of, like, the order things are going to appear in, because we're going to be playing a similar route that I've been working on, you know, in the last couple of weeks from, you know, learning this game. See, Mega Man Anniversary Collection, like, I have it on Xbox and PlayStation 2. I don't really play the PS2 version, because I always just play the Xbox one. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any open slots here, so I can't equip any of these. So this one right here will make me shoot rapidly, which is nice, or faster. And I believe this gives you more health energy back when you pick up health pickups. Alright, so we did that, and which one am I going to do next? Who do I want to do? Let's go ahead and just do this one. I usually do this one second, so... there's a few different things we're going to do here. A couple of sort of like shortcuts, or not really cheats, but like kind of like in the original Mega Man X, you can get items earlier. You can get items earlier than you're supposed to. It's like basically sequence breaking. So we're going to be doing that quite a bit in this game. So those of you guys that haven't seen that before, I think you'll enjoy that. There's some somewhat cool things. I haven't messed around with the Ultimate Armor because it's, you know, it's basically a cheat. So I haven't bothered to start a new game with it yet, but I will try that. Alright, so this one right here, we've got to destroy these little, like, eyeball-looking sensor things. And then that'll release the shield on this generator. Yeah, I like the boss designs in this game, too. I feel like some of the bosses are a little more interesting in this game than they are in, say, X5. Not to say all of them are. Some of them are a little weak. But there's some good bosses in this game, definitely. Oops. So, those little things that are dropped, there's that sort of energy ball looking thing that says 280 on the right-hand side. That goes up whenever you pick up the items that are left behind by those nightmare enemies. Remember, the nightmare enemies in this game are basically, you know, these little tentacle guys, and you want to pick up their objects that are left behind. And after a certain threshold is hit, you unlock an upgrade slot. This game has some nasty platforming, I feel, in certain cases. Like, this is one of the parts. These platforms, they're not the same every time you play. There's definitely some randomization involved on where they appear, so you can kind of get screwed and, you know, have a more difficult time on one playthrough than you might. Oops. I did an air dash by accident, and one of the changes they made in this game, which I'm still kind of angry about, it still gets me, is you can air dash in this game by simply pressing jump again. You can't do that in other Mega Man X games, or previous Mega Man X games, I should say. And what happens a lot with this PlayStation controller layout, a lot of times I end up pressing the jump button in the air by accident. And so I'll end up air dashing when I don't mean to. And that happens so much in this game. It's really frustrating. But I don't really have much of a choice unless I reconfigure my controls. You know, I like playing sort of Super Nintendo style. That's how I'm used to playing the Mega Man X games. So when I'm like... See, I just did it again. I pressed X. I pressed the jump button in the air. I didn't mean to. There we go. You know, I'm used to, you know, the X button being jump. I'm used to the square button being fire. Just like the Y button is fire in the Super Nintendo. And I'm used to the circle button being, you know, the dash function. I'm not used to the jump function in the air being the dash function in the air. So it still gets me. So this level, you really want to just take things relatively slow. It's very easy to just fall to your death. But this is where we're going to start doing sort of some sequence breaking. And we're going to end up losing a couple of deaths here as well. So this one is probably the trickiest. What we need to do is get 2 bats on the screen here. There we go. So we're gonna get hit by one, dash over here, get hit by him, and bam, just like that. Although we're gonna have to do it again because we missed the Reploid up there. But this is where one of the capsules is. So there's a, you know, you can try to air dash your way through there. It's really hard. And the second one, I don't think it's possible to make it all the way through. See, you would need like the hyper dash or something that makes your dash go longer in the air. But there is the shadow armor that you can get. Very much like the Gaia armor in X5, it allows you to walk on spikes. Now, it doesn't really matter if I die here, because every time you pick up a Reploid, you get another life back. So bam, back up to 9 lives. Zero is in this, but you have to find him first. Hey, Shining Philistine, welcome. So we're going to do the same thing here, except with this enemy here, I can get back without dying. See, just like that. What we're going to do is we're going to actually go get Zero right now. And we're going to die here. Yep. Hey, Encrypted Printer. Ready? Carlos, did you lower the visual quality on the stream? Just want to make sure. Oh, look at that. Very nice. I got lucky. Alright, so most levels in the game have these teleporters which take you to an alternate route. So we will not fight the stage boss here. What we will do is fight one of 3 alternate bosses. It starts with Zero. The first time you get to the alternate boss, it's always Zero. And then that's how you rescue Zero. And then after that, you'll have to fight High Max, and then anytime after that, you'll fight Dynamo, which Dynamo is from Mega Man X5. Very similar Dynamo fight to the X5 version. Now I could use our first weapon that we got. It's actually quite good. So you definitely want to make good use of this weapon throughout the course of the game. Just trying to take things slow here because the checkpoint's all the way back up top. So if we die here, we got to do this whole section over again. All right, good deal. Yeah. What I want to try to do, Lance, is on one run, try to get to the gate stages early. I mean, I always unlock them early, because I always go to these alternate paths first. But I've never tried beating the gate stages early. I'm gonna try to use this, see if it does anything to zero. Barely does anything. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's free hits. And when you do your Giga attack, you're invincible. So it's very, very handy. Alright, so now we can play as Zero. We're not going to play as Zero. I have actually never bothered to do a run with Zero. That's something else on my to-do list, is I'm going to go through the game again and try to play with Zero most of the time. The rep blades are located in nasty positions. They really are. Alright, let's skip through that. The weapons you get in this game are pretty good. I'd say they're pretty good, or really good, when they're charged up. Some of them aren't that great just normally, but when the weapons are charged up, man, they can just really wreck stuff in this game. They're really awesome. And you trust me, you guys will see exactly what I mean. Actually, in just a little bit. Alright, still no open slot there, but we're going to come back to this level anyway. I'm going to do it again. So now we can play as Zero. Oh yeah, something I meant to mention is that we're actually playing this in RGB this week, as opposed to S-Video from previous weeks. Finally got my HDMI audio extractor, so the new computer monitor I have. Remember that my old computer monitor was taking a dump, so I got rid of it. Or I basically took it out of my main production rig. So bought a new monitor, which has no audio out on it, so no headphone jack. So I had no way to monitor game audio for HDMI components or RGB sources. But got the HDMI audio extractor, and so now I can monitor game audio. And so we're back to using RGB again through the PlayStation. So hopefully the picture looks a little bit better for you guys this week. For those of you guys that can handle the quality. I know some of you are struggling with the internet right now. Basically what would happen, the reason I was still able to monitor composite and S-video audio, or audio from those connections, is that I have an audio or video amplifier that those connections run into. And so the video amplifier would run to my Trinitron television across the room, and I just ran a really long headphone cable into it. So then I would just use the TV volume controls to adjust the headphone volume. But it's a consumer television, has no RGB on it, doesn't have a component either, because it was before Sony started including component on those models. So that's why I was doing S-video in the previous weeks. This is kind of what I'm talking about, like, you know, we'll just tank. Don't really care, to be honest with you. The Falcon Armor is actually really solid in this game, too. It seems like it's got pretty good defense. Alright, boss time. You still have Rockman X3, X4, X5. Nice. I should do a Symphony of the Night run. I actually did. Last October I did Symphony of the Night as a live stream. So for anyone that's interested, I do have a playlist, a full playlist of my live streams, so feel free to check those out. If you want to see any of the games that I did previously, that's where you're going to find them. Oops. So this guy, you got to shoot the green spots, break those apart, and then you can attack him and do some damage. So for this guy, if I don't have his weakness, which is the ice attack, I'll just use the sword, and I'm just going to tank, like I said. I don't even care. I want to get as much damage off of him as I can. Nice, did a little bit of damage to him. Awesome. Yeah, Dracula X on Saturn, I am going to do that eventually. I got to figure out when I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to wait until next October, or if it's going to be some other time. Weaknesses actually are pretty good in this game. I've been experimenting with them. They're definitely useful in this game, way more than they are in X5. That was one of the things I liked about playing through this, is that weaknesses mattered a lot more. Like, if you have the ice attack on that guy, you can basically just stun lock him. Which is very nice. You don't really have anything like that in X5, which I was really disappointed with. Alright, so we just unlocked our first item slot, and I'm going to do Hyper Dash. And my next level is going to be... I don't know. So many choices. We'll do the ice level. Dracula X on PC Engine? Yeah. That's a fantastic game. I'm gonna be trying to do an updated Let's Play of that eventually, and I'm gonna also be doing an updated Let's Play of the PSP version, where I'm gonna go through the game and get all the maidens and fight the true final boss. I actually practiced that a couple months ago, but I never got around to doing the video, so I'm gonna have to spend more time with it. So this is a, you know, a level where we're just gonna tank as well. And it's almost like this level was like designed for you to sort of like speedrun your way up. See, you can actually get past where the ice blocks spawn, and you won't take any damage. So we just hit a checkpoint there. So we're going to take this part a little bit slow, though. Now, the unfortunate part about this area is that you can't latch onto the walls, so you got to watch out for that. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if there's really any Mega Man game where you have to follow the weakness chain. I know I don't really play any of the classic NES Mega Man games and follow the weakness chain. And same with the original Mega Man X or X4 or even X5. Now, I'm not sure about X2 or X3. It's been a long time since I've beaten X2, and then X3 I've never beaten. But I guess we're gonna find out. I picked up Rockman X2 for Super Nintendo. Or Super Famicom, so I got that in the mail today. As well as Rockman X3 for Saturn. And then I have Rockman X3 coming for Super Famicom as well. So I'll be able to talk more about those once I familiarize myself with them, which will probably be really soon. So you guys can probably expect X2 and X3 streams, maybe even multiple X3 streams, so I can get Rockman X3 for Saturn and Super Famicom done. I did, yeah, Mark. See? Alright, there we go. You need to jump when these things appear, otherwise you'll die. Now you can try to jump into them, but they'll do a lot of damage. But that's one way to not die when they appear right on top of you. Kind of tricky to get used to. And one thing I do to sort of like get around the slippery nature is I just jump in place, and then you'll stop sliding. See? I'm moving, then just jump. Moving, jump. So look at how far you slide. You slide a good bit in this. So just jump in place and you'll stop sliding. Yeah, Super Nintendo X3 is stupidly expensive. Fortunately, the Japanese version is very common, and, you know, it'll cost you like $30 to $35 for a cart, which is way better than, like, the $150 to $200 for a loose Mega Man X3 cart. So, you know, I've got Rockman X3 on Saturn. I basically had the PlayStation version on the Mega Man X collection. And that's actually the only version I've ever played. I've never played the Super Nintendo version or Super Famicom one. So I wanted to pick up the Super Famicom, kind of play the original of that game. Nice. To see how it compares to the 32-bit versions. I know that graphically it's probably about the same. But I want to hear like the audio differences and I wonder if like the responsiveness of the gameplay is different. So it'll be fun to go through both. I know the PlayStation and Saturn ones added, you know, cutscenes, full motion video, and they redid the music. Yeah, X2 and X3 are pretty expensive. X3 in particular, though, it's ridiculous. But again, you can just buy the Japanese Super Famicom ones. And the reason I bought them is because I wanted to play them on original hardware for one. I didn't want to rely on the X collection for PlayStation 2. Like, I wanted to play them on the Super Nintendo. Also, they don't work on my flash card, the Super EverDrive version 2. So, you know, it was either play them on the X collection, and the X collection of X3 is the PS1 version. It's not the Super Nintendo one. So I wanted to play the Super Nintendo one as well. Alright, so... trying to debate where I want to go. We'll go to the Central Museum. This boss is really easy. And actually, let's go and see what else we've got here. No, nothing worthwhile. No, this is a level we're probably going to have to end up playing multiple times unless we just happen to get super lucky. Alright, so these levels are somewhat randomized. And I haven't really talked about the nightmare effects. So there's an interesting mechanic in this game that I wasn't really a fan of at first, but now I kind of like it. It is interesting. Basically, there are certain level effects that are in play. So right now, I've got rain and wind. So basically, like, if I'm walking to the right against the rain, I walk slower. That's the nightmare effect of the previous boss. Not the previous boss. Of the rainy turtle level that I went to. Not the ice level we were just at, but the one before that. So the ice level that we just went through, its nightmare effect will cause icy platforms on certain stages. And so basically every level in the game, where every boss has a certain nightmare effect that affects certain other stages in the game. For instance, the fire level, its nightmare effect will be fireballs raining down from the sky on certain levels. It gets kind of interesting. It's definitely an interesting mechanic. You know, I gotta applaud the developers for trying to implement new ideas with this game. That's one of the reasons why I actually enjoy this game, is that it is doing some different things than, you know, some of your other Mega Man X games. So it did try something new, even though, you know, the development cycle was quite rushed from what I understand. We're at 820. Now, sometimes you can get screwed here and just get a really bad spawn of these platforms. Like I said, these levels are kind of randomized. This level, I mean, is kind of randomized, not other levels. This level specifically. And so I've had it to where there's no bottom platform here. You've got to try to make it all the way across this gap. And it's basically impossible without, you know, specific upgrades. Oops. Oops. Double oops. Now, your Giga attack, you want to just use as much as you can, because, you know, as you kill enemies, it charges back up, and then you can just use it again. Oh, look! You see? It changed the spawn of these platforms. I can't do anything about this. See, that's what I'm talking about. Now we're gonna get a different spawn on those platforms. I should be using the saber more often, or is it not that reliable? It's just a preference thing, Carlos. You gotta remember, when you use the saber, you're left wide open. So I prefer using the buster more often than not. But you'll see me using the saber over the course of the game. I don't use it as much as some other people do. See, this is a good spot on the platform. Look at that. I can just walk along the top. And the saber isn't that powerful either. Like, it's powerful, but it's not... You know, it's about the same strength as just, you know, rapidly firing your, you know, your main buster shot. This is kind of a... Oop, that was close. We're probably going to come out of this level with another upgrade. This is an example of where the Giga attack with the Falcon Armor is just way better than it is with the Blade Armor you'll get later on. We're gonna have to fight those totem pole contraptions a lot on the final stages in the game. They're really a pain. And that's why I prefer using the Falcon Armor for much of the playthrough. Bam, look at that. I mean, that's free. The Giga attack doesn't cost you anything, so you might as well use it. And we got the bad spawn. We're gonna have to do this level over again. I mean, we don't actually have to. It just depends on if you guys want to see me get, you know, all the armor. I can beat the game with just the Falcon, but when I play this, I like to get everything if I can. Alright, I need this guy. Got another heart tank, so our life bar just extended. Oh, something you got to keep in mind in this game is if you use your saber while you're attached to one of those bars, you immediately fall off the bar. So you don't want to ever use your saber when you're attached to these handlebars here. Now, unfortunately, it's not going to give me a new room. It's going to always just, like, cycle through different patterns of this same kind of room. There's no point in killing these guys either, because I won't get any item drops from them. The nightmares never drop any items, except for those little blue balls. And they only do that once on a level. Now, if you fight a certain Maverick, you can actually get them to drop the blue energy balls again. I forgot which Maverick that is. I'm sure somebody out there can clarify. I'm just kind of playing lazy right here. Let's see what we got. Meteor Rain is good. Whoops. And this guy, the M-Arc weapon actually works here. Go for the armor piece if you really want to. So we're just going to use the weakness against this guy. You basically just have the little dragonflies touch him directly. And that's that. Let's go ahead and just do it again. But we did actually get some upgrades, and we also opened up 2 extra slots. So the middle slot is always for these pink items, these limited items. You can use those once, and this is weapon recover. So we're going to go ahead and equip it. We're not going to use it. And this is Speedster. Speedster is one of my favorites. So I like Hyperdash, Speedster, and Jumper all combined. But with these two, Hyperdash and Speedster, we can actually get some items early by using some tricks. I'm going to show you guys those too. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just go back here because we need to get that armor piece. My last run, I had to do this 3 times, which was kind of a pain. You see we're much faster now. Yeah, I agree, Lance. I wish there was a way to affect like the placement of these sections. I'm kind of surprised there's not. I mean, you could tell like either it was intentional or the developers just got really lazy. You can see how fast my Giga attack charges back up, so you definitely want to take advantage of it in this game. And that's kind of the big takeaway from Mega Man X6 I found, is that you really want to use your special weapons in this game. You want to take advantage of everything that you've got. And we didn't get it again. But I guess I'll kill these guys, try to get their energy. I've never actually seen this section with like the ladders and things like that. That's interesting. That's interesting. I haven't seen a crystal in this level before either. We're gonna go ahead and go through it. I've never seen a crystal in this level. That's the first for me. So we're going to fight the alternate boss here. This is going to be High Max. So High Max is kind of annoying. You've got to do a charge attack on him and then hit him with a boss sub-weapon. Well, rushing in out the door, I mean, I kind of equate that to laziness. Like, I mean, they didn't have to have a level that's completely randomized, if you know what I mean. They could have just designed a level that wasn't random. I mean, hell, a level that wasn't random probably required less playtesting than one that did. Just food for thought, I guess. I mean, I think it's a neat concept, don't get me wrong, but when it's linked to something like an armor piece, you know, something that this game almost treats as like a requirement, because some of the later stages really want you to have those upgraded sets of armor. It's kind of frustrating, if you know what I mean. I don't even know why I keep switching off my weapons. I don't need to. We'll go ahead and just stick it out with this weapon. So you basically charge up, you hit him, and then you hit him again with a sub-weapon. And then once his health is about 75% down, he'll go to a pattern where he sits in the middle of the screen and you just hit him with boss sub-weapons over and over, and that's it. The third time you fight him, the third being, I'm counting the very first fight at the beginning of the game, he is a major pain. Takes forever to take out. Assuming you're playing with the Falcon or Blade Armor. If you're playing with the Shadow Armor, it's not as bad, because the Shadow Armor's sword attack is really good against High Max. He looks like a Decepticon. You know, I thought the same thing when I first saw him. Okay, so here we go. So remember, you could charge up your boss sub-weapons in this game, which is really, really handy. Yeah, that's actually a really good point, Lance. They should have designed that level to where the tank and armor piece appear in the non-random portions. Like, maybe just have it blocked behind a wall that requires, like, a certain boss sub-weapon or something. Okay, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Give me about 2 minutes and I will be right back. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Still the same stuff? Oh, what is this? Quick charge. Did I? No, I'm pretty sure I've had that one before. I just didn't realize it. That'll basically charge much faster, which is pretty useful. Alright. So, one last time. Not last time, but, you know, we'll do it however many times it takes. Troll random museum. It really is. Alright, please give me the armor piece this time. You'll notice that we haven't got any energy tanks yet. They're actually relatively hidden in this game. So they're not a gimme like they are in other Mega Man games. But fortunately, like I said, your Falcon Armor is pretty tough. So I find that I don't need the energy tanks as much as I did in some of the other Mega Man games. Are you serious, man? Again? So that's the third time. Wow. We don't even need to save it. Oh, this is so annoying. This is our fourth try. I've never had to do it 4 times. Set your alarms for about 20 minutes from now, guys, and, you know, feel free to wake up then. So my first playthrough, I got the armor piece here on my first try. Second playthrough, got it on my first try. Third playthrough, it took me 3 tries. Fourth playthrough, it's taken me 4 tries. Man, I feel for people trying to speedrun this game. Like, doing 100% runs. Ugh. They're just getting screwed by this RNG. Yeah, the RNG is real, for sure. There we go. 4 times the charm. Wow, so it took me 3 times on my 3rd playthrough, 4 times on my 4th playthrough. I'm kind of scared to play this game a 5th time. You know, I don't have to... I can just exit. We've already beaten the boss. Whew. Okay. Okay. Finally. Alright, I'm gonna come back here, actually. Because there's some stuff I can do here. Couple of sort of shortcuts that I think they want you to do with some other upgrades, but we're gonna be able to get what we need without said upgrades. Now that we've got, now we can charge a boss sub-weapon. Well, I should say, now that we have a boss sub-weapon we can charge, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this trick multiple times. Alright, so we're gonna come up here. Charge this. Oops. Actually, we didn't need to charge anything because we had the speedster, which is nice. Oops. It's okay, I'll use that. That's fine. Alright, so right here, we need to use the Ice Burst. And that's enough to get us up there, just like so. And not a whole lot going on here. I'm just gonna skip most of these guys. Alright, we're going to slide down to the right. This is going to take us to our alternate exit. And so now we're going to fight Dynamo. And what's our count up to? Let's see. 1,600. We need 5,000 to open up our next inventory slot, unfortunately. That's a really tight jump there. And this one, we're gonna come up here. Do some air dashes like so. And for Dynamo, there's a trick to get him to drop some, man, what is the name for the nightmare drops? And you can get him to drop the energy balls by using the Meteor Strike? Meteor Rain, sorry. And then you have to hit him once with your regular shot. And he'll drop 3 of these. They're worth 200 each. That's actually a lot in this game. And you can just duck under him as he jumps across the screen. Nightmare Souls, that's what they were called. Okay, thanks, Lance. Yeah, so your 4th slot opens up at 5,000 souls, and then your 5th slot opens up when you max them out at 9,999. There's really no point in going for all 5 slots. I might go for 4 slots, but I'm fine with that. Okay, so we got that, and we can actually, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and do the recycle lab. So this level can be a bit of a pain. You know, you have the you know, the potential to get crushed quite frequently in this level, and because of like the slow pacing of the stage, it feels like the checkpoints, you know, are just so far back. You get stunned by huge drops of water. Am I gonna play a Zero? I am not gonna play a Zero. Ooh, that was close. Alright, so we have to duck right here. You can't let go of duck. You will die if you do. You can actually destroy these blocks. Oops! You can't use that... Oh, you can't use that attack while you're ducking. So, this ability, Ground Dash. Why they call it Ground Dash, I have no idea. Apparently, you always stand back up after using it. I have no idea why. But the Ground Dash here can actually destroy those blocks. Hey, Cat. Welcome back. We have to be careful in this next section here. This is going to be one of these guys. If you get hit by him, you stand back up and you'll get crushed. So that's the checkpoint right there. We're going to have to take this part pretty easy. Alright, so this is the normal route if you go down this ladder, but if you come over here, there's another route. Whoa! They reappeared! What? That's not supposed to happen. That scared the hell out of me. I thought I was gonna get crushed. Okay, that was really weird. I was just like sort of trying to inch the screen over to see if there was a nightmare over there. Okay. There we go. Now this actually checkpoints you to this part right here. So if you have just regular X, you're pretty much screwed. You have to get a game over if you want to exit this part. But this part right here requires some upgrades, or it requires some special thinking. So let's see. We'll try it like this. You can actually do it without the ice block, but I find the ice block helps you a lot more. Yeah, I was not expecting those blocks to appear. That was crazy. Alright. So this is going to take us to the alternate boss again, which is always going to be Dynamo from now on. And this is an auto-scroller. It's one of the very few auto-scrollers in the game. I mean, heck, it might actually be the only... No, it's not the only auto-scroller. There's a couple of other auto-scrollers. There's one where you're going up a vertical shaft and there's fire below you that'll kill you instantly. That was a stressful one the first time I played this game. Yeah, people told me you can push the blocks with that weapon, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it. I don't know if it requires the charged version of it. So we're up to 2,400. We'll be up to 3,000 by the time that this is over. And actually, what I want to do is... I think we're gonna do ground dash. Does the ground dash go through walls? Because there's a Reploid here I always lose. It's that one. Oh, we're gonna get him this time. Awesome. I always lose that one. You dash into the blocks. That's like with the Gaia suit, or Gaia armor in X5. Aside from the museum level, I'd say this run's going pretty smoothly so far. I mean, it really goes to show that with X6 in particular, like, familiarity goes a long way with this game. And not being scared to use your special abilities goes a long way as well. My first playthrough was total hell, though, man. I was so frustrated. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and come back, do it all over again. Actually, let's see what we got. Nothing interesting. And, you know what's funny is the normal route on this level is actually tougher than the alternate route. And there's one very specific section that pretty much requires, you know, the Falcon Armor or the Blade Armor.
Ready?
Next stream, X7. No. The short answer is no. The long answer is I actually bought X7 last week. So I am going to try to go through it. I really don't want to because I know it's just total garbage. I've played it before and I've watched a bunch of reviews recently as well. But I was like, you know, if I'm going to do all the other ones, I might as well do it just because. And once I learn the game, then yeah, we'll definitely stream it. That'll be something. But no, definitely not next week. I actually need, now that I got my HDMI audio extractor, I need to get back to practicing for some like NES Let's Plays and Super Nintendo and Genesis Let's Plays. And then outside that, there's some other video types I want to start doing. And then, there are, I also want to try to tackle X2 and X3 as well. East 3? Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen someday, Town of Horus. I'm not sure when. But definitely gonna happen. I like that game a lot. We'll probably do multiple versions of it too. Not on one stream, but, you know, I'll probably do separate streams of the Super Nintendo one and the Genesis one, specifically. Hey, Girl Geek! Welcome. You're probably sick of watching me play this game. Girl Geek tuned in on Twitch while I was playing this. Multiple times. Oath and Felghana, absolutely. That's a fantastic game. She's sick of that level. Oops. The only thing about Oath and Felghana is it'll take a while, and it's longer than East 3. I may need to get a different PSP 3000 though. Because my component out on it, the port is a little wonky. Although I could technically do it through the PS TV. That's actually how I played the game last time. Although I gotta figure out how to get around the HD copy protection that's on the PS TV. I thought the Frame Meister was supposed to do it, but I've got to mess around with it. So this is the part right here. It's such a pain. Payday 2. Alright, mini-boss time. Never played any of the East games. You should definitely play some of the East games, Lance. So if we wanted to, we could use the meteor rain. And if you use the charged up versions on these bosses, it usually does a lot more damage. I mean, the Falcon is pretty solid, though. Like, you know, the shot doesn't take up as much screen space as past charged shots have, but it's strong, at least. So, if you're good with your accuracy, it's a great set of armor. Not as great as it is in X5, obviously, because you don't have the flying ability, but... and it doesn't go through walls this time, but it's still really powerful. Yeah, I mean, I would personally, if you've never played an East game, I would start with East 3, preferably the Mega Drive version, because it's definitely, I'd say, the nicest of those console versions back in the day. It's the most fluid and well-playing version, and it sounds great, too. And then I would play Oath and Felghana, or if you really don't want to play the old ones, just play Oath and Felghana. It's a pretty awesome game. But I feel like if you've got the experience with East 3 under your belt, then Oath and Felghana, I think, makes an even bigger impact, because you recognize the locations, you see what they did with the remake. Oath and Felghana is a remake of East 3. Hey, Sanctum. Alright, so we're gonna do, yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point. One, two, three, four. Still missing 4 armor pieces. Yeah, and it's these top right 2 and the bottom left 2. Those are the armor pieces we're missing. Let's go and do the Laser Institute. Yeah, in SNES East 3 was like way too fast as well. Like when you attack super fast in that game. Whereas if you play the Genesis version, your attacks are like a much more reasonable speed. Do you have to start with the first East? Yeah, you don't have to start with the first one. And honestly, I probably wouldn't start with the first or second East, because like, I think for some people, myself included, they were a little jarring to play because, or go back to, because you bump into enemies in those games. Kind of like the Highlight series. You don't sit there and like actually attack, you just bump into enemies. And it's a little awkward. You get used to it, but you know, East 3, for one, aside from being side-scrolling, which is kind of interesting to me, is you don't bump into enemies in East 3. You actually swipe enemies in that game, which makes the combat feel a lot more satisfying. I'd say if you play East 1 or 2, you should probably play one of the remakes of them, I would guess. So these little dragonflies here, this is the nightmare effect in play. These guys can be really annoying. You can see we have to adjust these reflectors as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the alternate route first. You have to get it to shoot down. There we go. And now this is kind of like one of the crap sections. There's an illusory wall here. If you hit select, as this menu or exclamation pops up, X basically says, like, I feel a breeze. And so what we're gonna do is just jump all the way over here, like so. So I basically have to take damage here to get that heart tank. Whoops! I dashed by accident. That was because I double tapped forward too quickly. So you can dash by pressing the dash button, or you can double tap forward, just like in, you know, the original Mega Man X. But now that there are no Reploids up here, I don't know where the platforms are. That's okay. It does destroy the dragonflies, yeah. I mean, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just let the dragonfly sit in front of me, and then I'll just sort of swipe in with the Z-Saber when I feel like it. Because they're relatively harmless. They just kind of get in your way. Alright, so this part's kind of a pain right here. If you jump too far up on that wall, you'll touch those spikes. I don't know why touching the edge of a spike kills you, but, you know, whatever. So it doesn't matter if I die a lot here, and I will die a lot here, because every time you rescue a Reploid, you get an extra life. So, you know, you could just tank here, it doesn't really matter. Nice. Hey, John, welcome back. So we're gonna fight Dynamo yet again. It would be nice if you could just kill Dynamo. And just not have to fight him again. So Dynamo in X5 is actually a little bit trickier than he is in X6. Like, that lightning attack he does, it actually goes back and forth in X5, whereas in this, he just does it the same. It's the same one lightning laser pattern, or whatever you want to call it. Mega Man 11, yeah. I'm a little uncertain about that one. I guess I'll wait and see what it's like. You know, hopefully it turns out really solid. Alright, back to the Laser Institute. Fortunately, the route to the boss is really, really short, so we don't really have much to do here. Alright, boss time. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way, Leo, about Mega Man 11. I actually bought Mighty Number 9 when it came out, Leo. I didn't finish it. I got to the final level, but I enjoyed what was there. Particularly, like, the first 8 Robot Masters. I thought that was pretty solid. One of the things I liked about Mighty Number 9 is it definitely felt like it was trying to be more Mega Man X as opposed to classic Mega Man. And I liked that. Very fast-paced. Wii U version of Mighty Number 9, I mean, that's probably the last version you want to buy. It's the worst performing. It's got a lot of, like, frame skipping and things like that. You want to pick up, you know, the Xbox One or PS4 version if you can. Or PC version. But I bought it on Wii U anyway, as a bargain bin purchase. It was like $8, I think. Granted, I picked up a used copy for $8, but still, you know, I bought the game for $30 when it came out, and then just a few months ago, I bought the Wii U version for like $8. And my brother's borrowing my Xbox One version right now. But, yeah. Alright, so this is a fun level. I hated this level at first, but you know, this is a level that really shows off the charged Maverick abilities. Yeah, it alleviates some of the performance issues you see, but it's still pretty crappy overall. Kind of inexcusable because the game doesn't look like it's taxing at all. It's just it seems like a very poorly optimized game, unfortunately. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this first. And we're gonna use our Giga attack. Look at that. So good. This is RGB. We're using a Euro SCART connector. But yeah, on the previous Mega Man X streams we were doing S-Video because I didn't have a way to monitor the audio at the time when I was doing RGB or component. But I got that fixed, so now we can do RGB again. Or component where available. Or where necessary, like PSP. Alright, we should probably be able to do the Giga attack again. Yep. See, this is why I like the Falcon Armor. Alright, so I'm going to intentionally kill myself here. I just want to come here and get one of the Reploids. There we go. So you checkpoint right before that door. And we're gonna have to come through here a second time. We're gonna take the top door the second time through. But we're gonna have to come up here. Thanks to that nightmare effect, we can get up here with relative ease. But this one blocks our way. You can use the Metal Shark attack to destroy it. And here's another capsule. So guess who we're gonna have to fight again? For like the 4th or 5th time. This is where we get our one of our energy tanks. Yeah, it is metal. I like the music in this game. I don't know about you guys, but I've, you know, really enjoyed the soundtrack. Jenna. You know, this stage theme in particular, you know, it's very energetic compared to a lot of the other music in this game. Hey, hey, Brandon! Michael Mackerts! Welcome. So we're going to play that stage again. Hey, Jose, how are you doing? So we got, you know, some good abilities now. Buster Plus, stronger base Buster Shot, Damage Barrier, Shock Buffer, Energy Saver. Yeah. Yep, Brandon's there. That's Michael Macker. That's my brother, Brandon. So I want to try to get him over here so we can stream some games that he's good at, like some Resident Evil or some GoldenEye. So we're gonna use the the Giga attack again. I'm just gonna wait for this thing to come back. Wrecked. Got it. Perfect Dark would be awesome. That would be great. So now that we don't have rep blades here anymore, because I've already rescued them, I have to be a little bit more careful in this section. Especially if I'm playing it on extreme mode, because this fire does a lot of damage. And by having the rep blades, you know, you have opportunities to get some health back. But remember, these nightmare enemies don't give you health back. So you can't rely on them for health drops. Brandon does have a YouTube channel. It's all music stuff. Ah, man. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Ooh, that was close. Oh, I still died. Yeah, Brandon, you were posting the other day, I guess on Instagram, what you thought of the Mana remake. It seems like you're enjoying it. Alright, so this was a really tough part of my first playthrough, but again, I was playing as X, unarmored, not Falcon, so... But what you want to do here is you want to take advantage of your charged weapons. Just like so. I actually managed to do it with Unarmored X. It was... I thought it was impossible, but we got it. It took us like... probably like 30 tries. It was pretty ridiculous. That's why I say don't play as unarmored X when you first play this game. Now, there's actually a red point we missed down towards the bottom, which is why I should have taken the bottom route, but that's okay. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so you can use the ground dash on this boss. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, that's Brandon's page, yep, with the Tales of Destiny cover. I want to see Brandon do more game music covers like that. The good thing about the ground dash is that it actually eats through this guy's fireballs. See, just like that. I guess they're not really fireballs, but the magma rocks or whatever. And if you charge up, it's even better. Bam. Yeah, so when I first played this, I thought having to fight that snake thing 4 or 5 times was just absolutely ridiculous. But now that I know how to play the game, I actually kind of like it. So I feel like Mega Man X6 was designed with, like, you know, higher level players in mind, you know, advanced to expert players. It's not conducive to, you know, a good time for, you know, newer players or first-time experiences. But once you get good at the game, I think it's a lot of fun. Alright, so we're gonna have to do this ice level multiple times, unfortunately. And looks like we just unlocked our 4th slot. But what I need is... We're gonna do Buster Plus, but what I need is actually the jumper ability, which we're gonna get here. So the fire nightmare effect's going to be applied to this ice level, but it's necessary to get some of the extra stuff like the heart tank. And we're going to just kind of skip through this again. Ah, oh, come on. If you don't get it right, you'll just start slipping back down. Okay, so we're gonna try this trick here as well. Just like that, got it. So that's how we can get that early. And now this opens up too, so it wasn't open before. Now unfortunately I can't get up top there yet. I need the jumper ability. Unless there's some kind of trick I don't know about. There's nothing that really propels me up. So basically what I do is with the jumper ability, I get on this ice, and then I just jump up. I don't know if jumper is actually mandatory for gate. Actually, no, I don't think it is. It's just useful. Because you can use, you know, you can use the, frickin', I keep dying. You can use the blade armor, or you can use the shadow armor. And the shadow will let you walk into spikes. So this is tough right here, trying to get, trying to dash over. There we go. Jumper is if you do unarmored X, yeah. Yeah, unarmored X or unarmored X on the gate stages, yeah. Not worth doing. Not worth the hassle. I tried it. Alright, so we're gonna drop this over here. And this is the guy that gives you the jumper ability. And guess who we have to fight again? I'm gonna go ahead and fight him again. There's actually no point. Yeah, we're not gonna get 9,999, so I'm gonna go ahead and just exit. And then we'll come back. Oops. Wait, you can't exit if you haven't done the... Oh my god. So even though we fought the boss, I can't exit until I actually fight the alternate boss as well. Even though I've already fought the alternate boss in other parts of the game. That's kind of crappy. The point of playing as Unarmored X is for added challenge. The problem is that they allow you to do it right from the beginning, which was awful. I feel like Unarmored X should have been an unlockable. Because people like me played the game for the first time with Unarmored X. We played as Unarmored X in our first playthrough, which really gave a sour taste. Put a sour taste in my mouth. You know, both back in the day and recently. You know, my first playthrough. Just a few weeks ago. I feel like that was a bad design choice. Now, on X5, it wasn't really a big deal because you could play through the whole game with Unarmored X without a problem. But X6 is not designed around Unarmored X at all. I mean, there are jumps that you can't make normally with Unarmored X. Like, you have to glitch your way through them. And these are just normal sections of the stages. It's just really, really unfair. I mean, not just unfair, it's like, some parts are literally impossible with Unarmored X. So, why they gave you the option to play as him, you know, off the get-go is just, I think it was just a really bad oversight. You know, I would have enjoyed this game a whole lot more back in the day if Unarmored X just wasn't even there and I was forced to play as the Falcon Armor. Hell, I probably would have beaten this game back in the day had that been the case. But no, I played as Unarmored X because I thought to myself, oh, well, that's how every other Mega Man game goes. You start off as Unarmored X, you get armor pieces. And no, it doesn't really work like that in this. Ultimate Armor in X6 is only with a code. Ultimate Armor in X5 can be had right before the end of the game. Okay, so now that we've got Jumper, we need to go ahead and equip that. And we're gonna do the ice stage yet again! Well, and Falcon's got the air dash, and its charge shot is pretty powerful too. Oops. But yeah, the suit was definitely nerfed, but I still actually prefer it compared to the blade. Its main charge attack is more powerful than the blade charge attack. particularly on bosses, where all those little extra hits from the blade charge attack don't do anything. And with my upgrades, the blade's, you know, faster dash ability just gets kind of out of hand. And the Falcon's Giga attack is much more useful than the Blade Armor's Giga attack. So, and there we go. There's that. And let's exit. Yeah, which is why I use the Falcon Armor right up until the last couple of stages in the game, and we're even going to use the Falcon Armor on the first gate stage as well. All right, so this is probably the toughest level in the game, but you can see we got a lot of upgrades here, which is quite nice. And yeah, I don't think there's a yeah. We just need one more armor piece, and it's on this level. Fortunately, this level will go by pretty quickly because I have a strategy for it. And the thing about X6 is that there's a weakness for like almost everything in this game. Almost. And that includes, you know, the guy in the background in this level, and I'll show you what I mean. What? There are Mega Man X games after 6? That's news to me. No, I'm just kidding. I still need to play through X8. Like, I definitely want to, like, give that one a fair shake. X7 I'm a little more apprehensive about, but X8 I definitely want to spend some time with. There's actually really no point in me destroying these nightmares right now because I'm not going to get 9,999. So you can use the meteor rain on this part. That's the weakness. The guy will stop shooting at you. And it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal because it'll also destroy, you know, this sort of vertical pattern of these little ships flying around the screen. We use the Giga attack right here. Destroy these, you know, little turrets. So you can see the fireballs flying from the top of the screen. That's the nightmare effect from the previous level. Alright, so this is the alternate route. They actually kind of shove the alternate route right in your face, making you think it's the normal route. And to get the capsule here, you just walk left. Capsule and the heart tank. This part's kind of a pain to get all the Reploids, but I don't really care about them at this point. There aren't any other upgrades I'm going to actually use. I've got the upgrades that I really want. But if you're a completionist, then yeah, you need to come down here and get these guys. Oops. Oh, he's dead. Oh, geez, the Spirit Destiny stream? Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, we're almost 2.5 hours into this. We still have at least a half an hour to go, probably longer, because the last couple stages of the game could be a major pain. So, like I said, this was expected to take 3 to 3.5 hours, even though the in-game timer says we've only been playing for an hour. Look at that. It says we've been playing for an hour and 22 minutes, even though we've actually been playing for an hour past that. It doesn't count like you know, the stage selection and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count that stuff. Alright, so... and we could play with the blade armor if we really wanted to. Like, I'll show you the blade armor. Because you're not going to see it again until the, you know, the last part of the game. How many times do you have to face Dynamo during the game? A lot. I mean, it all depends. Like if you're doing what I'm doing, you're trying to get all the armor pieces, then yeah, you gotta fight Dynamo a lot. If you're not, then you don't have to fight him much at all. You know, you can go to the end of the game early if you want to as well. Although obviously the end of the game is going to be a little bit harder because you're not fully upgraded and your health isn't as large either. So the charge buster shot with the blade armor acts a little bit like the 4th armor charge shot, where it kind of sticks behind. But you see how it's not that useful. On enemies like this, it only does the initial hit. So it's much weaker than the Falcon shot. But one thing that is pretty cool, if you hold up and release it, you'll do a stronger Z-Saber attack. So that's pretty handy. See, kind of like that. You can also dash vertically now with the blade armor. And we're gonna go ahead and use this weakness again. Alright, so for this boss, you mainly just want to use your charge attack. This guy splits off into multiple forms. And if you use your saber, he pretty much always splits out when you attack him with the saber. But if you use your charge attack, he waits to split out until his health is at certain points. Yeah, see, if we were using the Falcon Armor, I'd be doing more damage with this charge attack. Alright, so what I'm going to do is use a variety of my Maverick weapons. Trying to figure out what I want to use. And that's that. Really tough boss fight, especially if you're with Unarmored X. Unarmored X in this fight is ridiculously difficult. But, you know, as long as you've got boss sub-weapons, it's not as bad. You just gotta use the sub-weapons that can, you know, cut through multiple objects at once. Because those green blobs, they take a lot of hits to destroy. Alright, well that's pretty much it. We've got everything we need. Wow, I got every single part. Look at that. I've never done that before. But I can't equip 5 because I need 9,999 souls. But, huh, nice. Yeah, I've never actually gotten all of them. I've always missed at least 1 or 2. So very cool. But I got, you know, I prefer the ones that speed me up and give me better movement. So Hyper Dash, Jumper, and Speedster are what I like. Alright, so this first gate level, we're gonna go ahead and just use Falcon again. Is this boss harder if you were playing as Zero? I'm not sure because I haven't played as Zero. I experimented with him just a brief bit on my first playthrough, and then I was like, eh. So what I'm gonna do is, in the future, I'm gonna try to do a playthrough. I'm gonna get a Zero on the first level, and then I'm gonna just do the whole game with Zero and kind of see how it works out. Alright, so right here, we can use the ice ability. Just like so. We just want to take this part really slow. Diamond, what's going on, dude? I don't know, man. I like the game a lot now. The first playthrough, not so good, but after that, I think it's actually pretty solid when you know what you're doing. That's the thing, is like, for this game, you have to know what you're doing, otherwise I don't think it's very much fun. Like, this is my 4th playthrough, and every playthrough has just gotten smoother and smoother and smoother. Hey, Shiny Philistine, thank you, sir. You are too kind. Good job getting all the parts. This calls for a celebration. Dude, Diamond, man, you posted some goofy ass playthroughs this week, man. It was like, everybody loves Raven, or Raven, sorry, on the Game Boy Advance. I was watching part of that. I was like, oh my god, he's actually playing this game. Alright. This is a really tough boss. But having all the upgraded parts helps a lot. Wow, none of those hit. Yeah, this boss on extreme mode in particular is really tough because he shoots out projectiles as he moves around. Yeah, well, the thing about the Blaze Heatnik stage, man, is you just gotta know what sub-weapons to use. The sub-weapons wreck the snakes. Like, there are times where you can kill them in one hit. It's really, really that crazy. I mean, same with the gate stages. Like, I used to hate these things in my first playthrough. But, you know, I can get through them without too much trouble now. Of course, I say that now. We'll see what happens on the next couple stages. He said X6 is a tough game, but when you get good at it, I think it's pretty satisfying. Ah. And that's it. Yeah, I don't think this game deserves the hate. X7, though, based on what I've played, I'm definitely leaning towards does deserve the hate. X6 is absolutely an acquired taste, though, because like I said earlier in the stream, I feel like the game was designed for, like, higher level players. You know, for one, people that are going to persevere, and then people that are going to do repeat playthroughs, learn from their mistakes, and get better and better at the game. It's not for amateur Mega Man players, that's for sure. Anyone that has trouble with this game, well, I should, never mind. I'm going to just scratch that. I don't need to keep ranting on about that. But yeah, it's a tough game. It's not for everyone. It's definitely an acquired taste. I definitely want yeah, I definitely want to do the blade armor from here on out, unfortunately, because of its sword ability. And I'm just gonna skip the shadow armor because it kind of puts me at a disadvantage on many parts of the levels. Although, you can walk on spikes, and that helps a lot. If you use the shadow armor here, though, there's a jump that's almost impossible with the shadow armor. It's really, really tough, so we'll go blade armor. Ready? Yeah, Gate himself is definitely a pain. which is why we're going to want the blade armor, because I can use my sword attack like that. See, that's what I'm talking about. The blade armor dash attack goes so much farther than with the Falcon armor. And part of that's because of the upgrades that I have. But I want the upgrades for like my normal movement and things like that. So upgraded blade armor, not so hot on the gate stage. Gate stages. I'm just gonna skip these dudes. Don't even really care. Get me to the checkpoint, and this is the checkpoint. Good thing is with the blade armor, you can go up here like this. So you can actually do some sequence breaking with the blade armor, which is kind of nice. And again, right here. We're just gonna jump up and dash this way, and that's it. We just got through probably the toughest part. And now we get to fight High Max yet again. And we're gonna switch back over to this weapon. Now this fight takes a long time. It's my least favorite fight in the game. Well, aside from Gate himself. I have to play it safe, because he does do a lot of damage. I don't really want to use an energy tank right now. You could destroy his barriers, but it takes a while, it's risky. I'm just not going to go for it right now. And he'll just keep doing this until you get him about 25% down on his health. And then he starts mixing up his patterns a lot more. Come on. Welcome, Jaden. Level 4 is the max in this game. It's not like X5 where enemies go up to like level 99. There we go. See, that's the good pattern. Yeah, pretty much, Carlos. You know, when someone comes in and says hello, you know, I try to say hello back, but you never know if it's gonna be, you know, someone just kind of goofing off or someone that's actually, you know, wanting to talk normally. So there is a way to actually hit him as he comes down, and I did it a few times earlier today, but it's kind of tough to get. See, I hit him like that, but he doesn't stay stunned as long. See, I just did it again. Got him. It's kind of a pain. I know I've said that multiple times in this playthrough. Like, such and such is a pain. And that's the thing about Mega Man X6, is there are a lot of parts in this game that are pretty painful. But you kind of get used to them. You gotta play, definitely gotta play this game with some discipline. Oops, like I'm not doing right now. So I'm trying to hit him as he comes in. Alright, you know, we're gonna go ahead and just use an energy tank, because I don't feel like messing with this again. You can see how long it took to just get, you know, 30% of his health down. But now it's gonna go a little bit faster. He's gonna be doing these patterns more often. Man, come on. Yeah, same with the Shadow Armor. You know, it's high max is easier with the Shadow Armor, but you also kind of put yourself at risk, like in the stage itself. Like you have less flexibility when you use the Shadow Armor. All right, we'll use Meteor Rain. So we pretty much got this one in the bag. Oops. Yeah, so this boss fight takes forever. I mean, the first high max fight, it doesn't take nearly as long, so it's a little more tolerable, but this one is just absolutely awful. You gotta have a lot of discipline and patience. I mean, that fight probably took us over 5 minutes. Zero's way faster with his attacks. Well, I mean, speed is great and all with your attacks, but I mean, what matters more is not necessarily your speed of your attacks, but the invincibility frames that the bosses have. You know, so you can attack really fast. Like, I can attack fast with my Buster, but the invincibility frames are too long to where mashing, you know, won't do anything. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a run with Zero sometime soon. Probably in the upcoming weeks. Just to see what it's like. Alright, we're just gonna skip these dudes. He's like, at this point in the game, I just don't even care anymore. You know, I fought so many of these guys up to this point. We're gonna slide on this wall, though, because there's some spikes right there. And it's these jumps right here that are really, really tough with the Shadow Armor. So this is actually kind of a good part to build up your energy tanks. And this ray arrow is really good to do so, charged up. And this weapon is amazing on bosses too when it's charged up. This is going to take a little while. Hey Aztec, how are you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Alright, that's that. It is, Brandon. And, you know, we're towards the end of the game, too. We only have, one more level after this, actually. So, this is kind of like a puzzle boss fight. Kind of like High Max, in a way, but a little bit different. So he shoots projectiles out, you have to destroy them, and they explode and will hit the boss. But you can't damage the boss normally. So for a lot of people, this is the worst boss in the game. And each of the energy balls or projectiles he shoots out have different properties. Like this one sucks you in. And then he'll also destroy the platforms that you're on. This one slows things down. The red one's my least favorite, because it'll also eat your inputs. And if you guys have seen some of my Let's Plays in the last year, you know how I feel about my inputs being eaten. Come on. There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and use an energy tank. All right, one more. Bam, that's it. I think this is actually my shortest playthrough of this game, because it's probably going to only count us as just under 2 hours once we finish this, and my shortest in-game timer up to this point is like a little over 2 hours. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and use the Maverick sub-weapons on the Mavericks themselves. You know, we're going to use the Maverick weaknesses on this boss rush. Because I do want to use the blade armor, but the blade armor's buster attack isn't that good for boss fights. Yeah, that boss is nasty. Haha, Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3, Super Nintendo, eating inputs, yeah. Yeah, those games are awful for that. Alright, so we get to do all the bosses again. But we get to use the weaknesses. So for this one, we can use the laser attack. I want to try to get take no hits on this boss. That way I can use the health canisters to refill my energy tanks. Yeah, this stage theme is actually pretty good. I do enjoy it. It's a good, like, final level, you know, theme. Not that you're gonna hear it a lot. Getting feisty there, doggy. See, the boss sub weapons are actually really good in this game. Unlike X5. And I meant, like, specifically against the Robot Masters or the Mavericks. Yeah, at X5, you're always just better off using your charged buster. Because you'll do more damage faster, at a faster rate overall. Alright, so this is a fun one. I think we gotta destroy these first. Man, come on. Alright, we're going to use the weapon tank. Yeah, well, one of the good things about this versus X5 is that in X5 they increased the health bar for each of the Mavericks, like by 2. They doubled the health bar. It was ridiculous. They don't do that in this game. And the you know, that combined with the boss sub-weapons being much more useful, you know, you can just tear through these guys so much faster. Come on. Come on, Diamond. X5 is fine. Once you get past all, like, the story nonsense, you just skip through all of it, and you learn the, you know, a good progression in the game, like, you know, a good game plan. I think it's a pretty solid game. I really enjoyed it once I learned it. I used to think the game was really dumb. Same with X6, but, you know, I definitely have a newfound respect for it. Yeah, we streamed it last week on YouTube. Yeah, the jet bike section in X5 is pretty tough. Like, I had to memorize that. Alright, last one. Giga attack seems to work pretty well against him. Alright, on to the last stretch.
Ready?
Alright. The question is, do I want to... Yeah, we'll try it. My health isn't full. Sometimes I'll just kill myself. Because you always start right before the boss again. There's no threat when it comes to dying at a boss in this game. Even when you game over, you just start right back at the boss. And you get all your energy back. All your weapon energy back, I mean. Alright, so this attack is the weakness against Sigma, the first form. So we're just going to rely on it. And this green barrier, you just want to shoot it. It goes backwards when you shoot it. Alright, second form. So the second form is really why I wanted to use the blade armor. It wasn't really so much for the other parts of the, you know, the gate levels. You know, the blade armor definitely helps when you're fighting Gate himself. But you definitely want it for the Sigma fight here. This second form specifically. We're just gonna come over here. And this is actually good. You want this, because that's when his weak spot opens up. Let's go ahead and use an energy tank. Sometimes these guys will drop health pickups as well, which is nice. He always does that attack in twos. And that's that. We just beat Mega Man X6. Thank you, Shiny Philistine. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe I'll go over to Twitch afterwards and stream X7. No, seriously, if I do one though, it'll probably be I'll probably go to Twitch and stream Rockman X3 for Saturn. Since I don't really know that game very well. But I need to get some food first. Yeah, well that's practice for Etana Horus. I mean, that was my 4th run, so... And I did, you know, I guess basically 4 runs in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks time. Each run took usually about 2 days. I'd come home from work and stream it. Which of the robot masters is weak to guard shell? I'm not sure, honestly. And how do you use it? You want to use the charge up version, where it basically makes 4 shells appear on each of the corners of the screen, and they just shoot inward. Yeah, no pizza. I'm just gonna go make another salad. I mean, a salad is basically the fastest too, as far as like meal making. I don't have to preheat the oven or anything, or wait for the stove to heat up, the stove top to heat up. All right, so we'll just let the credits roll out, and then we'll just, I guess, go ahead and end the stream. If you guys have any last-minute questions or comments or anything, feel free to fire away. Yeah, I tried using Guard Shell on Infinity and Maginian, but it just, you know, it's hard to actually hit them with it. It's just not worth the trouble. I just use, you know, I use the Flame Sword attack in particular because it cuts through multiple of those green objects, and it does some decent damage on the boss too, so... Well, I get to put the PS2 away now. I've had it out for a few weeks now. So I'll probably bust out the Saturn. Oh, hey, Town of Hearts. Thank you, sir. For your efforts, good sir. Thank you, good sir, Town of Hearts. Thank you, Brandon. Thanks for hanging out, Brandon. Thanks for tuning in. I'm not sure how much of the game you actually got to see. My next Let's Play, I want it to be a surprise unless you're a Patreon backer. Patreon backers know what they are. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, Diamond, I saw you streaming some anime last week, and I was like, yeah, should I tell them you're not allowed to do that? I was like, nah. And then you got a 24-hour ban for it. Oh, man. Oh yeah, no, I totally agree with you, Shining Philistine. Like, I think this game needs a lot of work, and it needed a lot of work. But I still like it as is. I used to despise it. I was like, this game's a piece of crap. But I actually like it now. I actually enjoy it. Like, I can see its strengths. And as someone that likes a challenge, it's good for that. So... This song is so funny, though. It goes, bass, space. There's a little sample that goes, bass. It's like, wow. Oh, man. Yeah, Diamond, affiliate's really easy to get, man. I went back to streaming on my pinball channel. I streamed for like a week straight, and they offered me affiliate status. It's like, I didn't take it because I don't plan on streaming that often over there, but it's not hard to get affiliate. And you're not going to get much from it unless you get a decent viewership. But it's still cool to be able to, you know, be able to take in bits and things like that. Yeah, see, look at that. It says we only played for an hour 59, and we've been streaming for 3 hours and 23 minutes. So the in-game timer does not work right. It doesn't count like all the menus and load times and things like that. So that's actually my fastest time of the game, and I think that's my most amount of Reploids rescued, most likely. Oh, that's true, man. Yeah, Twitch affiliate status makes you allows you to have an emote. Let's hold on a second.
Ready?
Oh, I did it wrong. Oops.
Ready?
Alright, I'm guessing this gives us the ultimate armor. Might as well play around with this for a couple minutes just to see what it's like. When am I going to go on Twitch? I'm going to go on Twitch right after this.
Ready?
No, it doesn't. I don't know, it doesn't look like I got it. Must have done something wrong. It made the noises though. Yeah, I don't know. I think I did something wrong, but that's okay. Yeah, press left 3 times, right once, L1 3 times, and R2 once. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Townahara, is, you know, you gotta do the tutorial stage first. That's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, I actually took a snapshot of that the other day when I played it on Twitch. Alright guys, well, like I said, that's pretty much it. Like, if you have any last minute questions or comments, once again, fire away. Otherwise, I'm gonna head out. So, flash by those Patreon backers. Thanks again, Shining Philistine, for your patronage, your pledge, and we're gonna also flash by those recent live stream super chatters. Same armor from X5 with the spammable Giga. Yeah, that's what I thought. So for anyone that wants to keep hanging out, that might be new to this stream, I'll be over on my Twitch account. Starting in just a couple minutes. Although I'm going to leave an away message up for probably about 20 minutes while I get some food. So you don't have to head over immediately, but I will be there shortly if anyone wants to keep hanging out. For everyone else, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And that's pretty much going to wrap up Mega Man X for a little while. Unless I just happen to beat X3 for the first time and get really comfortable with it, then we'll do a stream on that. But I need to get back to practicing for Let's Plays. And I'm not going to do that tonight, because I have 2 more days off of work this week. So I'll probably try that tomorrow night or the night after. But tonight I am going to play some Rockman X3 for Saturn. I'm going to hook the Saturn up. And we'll play a little bit of that. Yeah, see you guys. Later, Town of Horace. Later, Carlos. Thanks again for hanging out. Much appreciated. And hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, this archive will probably be up in a few hours. You know, the stream was 3.5 hours long, so I don't think it's going to take all night to process. Yeah, you should do that, man. You should beat that Mega Man 2. That's a fantastic game.
Ready?
Alrighty, folks. Well, I guess that's it. I'm out of here. Like I said, I'll be over on Twitch. I'm gonna go get some food before I continue on. And yeah, if I don't see you over there, hopefully I'll see you in the comment section of my next Let's Play or next week's live stream. So, take it easy, guys. Have a good night, and I'll catch you soon.